authorization. Okay, now on this page you can activate or deactivate authorizations of existing users for operations related to brands. Send press release, invitation, examine reports, etc. By clicking on the key next to usernames, this authorized person can send press releases or invitations, and he can examine reports, etc. And let's go to the test users. You can assign the users authorized for the brand to the brand's test account by clicking on the plus icon next to the usernames. Before sending out a press release using Facilis, you can send out a copy to these test users to do final checks. If you select these people that you assigned here at the last step of sending the press release, they can receive the copy of the press release sent to the media members. You can assign a media follow-up agency or your clients who want a copy of the release to the test section of the account so that the follow-up can be done more easily. The title of the test releases is Test, and the title of the regular releases say Scheduled. And the copy of the release sent to the media will have the text you entered. It won't say Test or Scheduled. Header and footer. If you wish, you can add the brand's logo to the header section, and on the footer section, you can add information which does not often change and are found in every press release, such as brand address information or an about the company text. Then click on Update. Senders. You can specify who can send the releases and the invitations. The members of the media will get back to you on the email address of the person from whose account you sent the release from. That will be the reply to email address. To define a different user, you can enter the sender's name and his email address. Then click on the plus icon. The letters in the email address must be lowercase. After that, your account will be ready. So when you check it from the brand section again, you can see the opening date of the brand and the renewal date, which is the date the monthly usage duration expires. Because the system won't let you create a brand you had already created before, you should check it on the left from the brand archive section. If your account is listed here, you can activate it here and start using it. To activate the brand, click on the Activate text next to the brand name. After that, your brand won't appear in the archive section anymore, but it will appear in the active brands. Well, we'll start talking about the media section first, and then we'll go one by one to explain these tabs' functions. You can also check the media data in this section here. For instance, by media type section, you can check the publications registered with the system. When you choose the agency, the news agencies registered with the system will show up on the right side of the page. You can see the total number of the publications on the top right. Okay. You can also narrow down the results by using the publication domain filter options like national, local, international, which are located just on the top of the publication list found on the right side. Okay, you can also filter them according to the subject of the publication by clicking the by subject text. Then all the publications that create content about the subject you choose will be listed on the right hand side of and advanced search section. You can filter the publications by using the criteria like media name, period, language, and target audience. For example, in order to check the details about the publication, click on the publication name and the publication card will open up. And on that, you can see the social media accounts of the publication and with just one click, you can go to that area. Right below that area, you can find the general info like headquarters address here, phone numbers, website address, and target audience for the publication. With the copy icon next to this info, you can copy and paste them somewhere you desire. Now, if you look at the departments section on the right, you will see the departments within the publications and the corporate email addresses. When you click on the People tab, you will see the journalists working in the department with their contact info. Just next to the departments here, there is this Offices tab. You can view the worldwide office addresses of the publications with their employee data. You can create the notes that only your company employees can view here in the Notes tab. If you want to block a publication for one brand or for the whole agency, you have an option to block them through this tab. When you block the publication, they won't receive the releases you sent for that specific brand, or they won't receive any release you sent at all. Depending on which option you choose, obviously. So use the keys next to the brand, or if you want to block the publication completely, turn the key at the top on, activate the blocking function. After doing that, a sign will appear right under the name of the publication, showing that it is blocked. People tab also lets you search and find people registered with the system. The structure and search options of this area is almost identical to Publications tab. Let's see it then. You can view the journalists registered in the system based on what type of media organization they work for when you check this by media type. If you choose agency out of media type options, you will reach the data of the news agency members. And on the top right, total journalist number is shown. By subject tab shows you the journalists based on their expertise. All the journalists that create content about the field you choose will show up on the right side of the page. Okay. Advanced Search tab gives you a variety of options. You can filter the journalists by their name, the publication they work for, their title, and the region. And here goes our example search. Click on the name of the journalist to look through the details about him. The detail card opens up, and you can find his or her photo here and the gender icon. If the journalist doesn't have a photo, the gender icon will help in this case. You can also find links to the social media accounts of the person just under the photo. Under these links, you can find the person's personal contact information and the copy icon. And on the right comes the Information tab. If the media member works for more than one publication, all those publications and the media member's department and title will show up here. And the Notes section, where your company's staff can take notes which are visible to the company staff only. In Lists section, you can view in which lists the journalists are added, and the Report section shows you the reports of all the releases sent to the journalist. And Release section. Here on the Releases page, you can view all the press releases and invitations sent through the brands you are authorized for. If you click on the green envelope icon on the right by the releases, you can send that release or invitation to a single journalist. And via this Twitter tab here, you can reach the Twitter account of the journalist. If you want to block a journalist for one brand or for the whole agency, you have an option to block him through this tab. When you block a journalist, he won't receive the releases you sent for that specific brand, or they won't receive any release you send at all, depending on which option you choose. Okay, so use the keys next to the brand, or if you want to block the journalist completely, turn the key at the top on, activate the blocking function. Right after the blocking, a sign will appear right under the name of the journalist, indicating that he is blocked.